Hola amigos y amigas. Before jumping in, I am being told that it's about time I start doing what everyone else does and says a few basic quickies before I jump into my videos. So if you're new here, if you've been watching, thank you. If you like what you see, please subscribe, please like the video, hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a video. I did my duty. Let's jump in. Today I want to touch base on the ins and outs and hardcoreness and details of my entire routine, why I do what I do, and kind of just put it all out there in one meaty video, because I get asked this question a lot by curly friends or people that I might interact with on social media, and it's just easier to have everything condensed into one video. So here it is. First and foremost, I'm hoping that this helps people with both damaged hair, healing hair, healthy hair. Mainly, if you have a good hair regimen, it's going to help you basically maintain the health of your hair. If your hair is damaged, these tips are also going to help you keep your hair at the optimal health that it can be in, given whatever state that it's in. You can't save severely damaged hair. You can strengthen hair and help it along the journey. I have a damage story that will be linked to above and below. My hair was severely damaged by both bleach damage and Diva Curl damage, to the point that the entire crown of my hair broke off. The remaining hairs were long pieces here and in the back, and hair was continuously breaking off. And so as devastating and traumatic as living with and going through damage was for me, I am thankful over the fact that it really forced me to jump in, study hair, study my hair, connect with my hair, learn how to listen to hair, which is the most important thing you could ever do. And in doing so, I found kind of my path when it was damaged into how to maintain it, how to understand it, how to work with it, how to listen to my hair. And now that I'm past the damage, how to still maintain it, how to make sure it stays healthy, how to keep listening to my hair and evolve with whatever the needs of my hair are. Before my damage, I thought I knew everything about my hair, that I had curly hair down pat, and knowing everything that I know now, oh my God, looking back on that, I know that most of my life I knew absolutely nothing about hair at all. When I thought my hair was healthy and doing fine, it really wasn't. I look back at pictures and my hair was losing its curl pattern. It had become wavy in some moments. I didn't understand that black hair dye that I was using was damaging it, this and that I was doing. So hopefully these little tidbits of advice will help. There are several components that are really important to maintaining hair health, and that is a protein-moisture balance, essentially. I've seen a lot of people talk about and overanalyze, I feel sometimes, in some instances. In other instances, it really absolutely is true that someone may have either protein overload or moisture overload. But for the most part, don't overanalyze your hair and come up with a routine that satisfies both your protein needs and your moisture needs at all times, so that you have that balance at all times. You might tweak a little bit as you experiment with new products and go with the flow of it, but for the most part, if you have something solid, you'll teeter-totter maybe and stay pretty solid, and you won't go to extremes and put yourself and your hair through that. So my routine as it stands now, the most essential thing that you want to know about your hair is what is your porosity. Oftentimes people and companies market and talk about hair pattern, whether you're a 2A or a 2B or a 3A or 4, what type of curl, texture, pattern, tightness do you have, and that really doesn't mean anything. What you really need to know and understand and connect with is your hair's porosity. Are you low, medium, or high porosity? And within the low, medium, and high porosity range, are you on the lower end of it? Are you on the high end of it? Where do you fall? What does this mean for your hair? There are essentially 3 incredible YouTubers that I follow, and I'll link to them below. Curly Proverbs, who is very good at talking about oils and oil treatments for both the hair and the scalp, and essential oils and different kind of masks, and she has that kind of extensive expertise. Glam Fam, Linwood, being a stylist and a teacher at cosmetology school, knows the ins and outs of hair and explains the whys of hair, low porosity hair, high porosity hair, why it behaves the way that it does, what you can do with it. So for in-depth videos on those, definitely check them out. And curly chemistry is also one of my absolute favorites. The most astonishing knowledge of the science behind ingredients and hair and why something is either beneficial or detrimental to the hair, explained with science, which has been absolutely enlightening. So for an in-depth understanding of all of that, check them out. But the very basics are low porosity hair has the cuticles so tightly shut that it's very hard to put moisture in the hair. But once you get moisture in the hair, it retains it pretty well because the cuticles are so tightly shut. Medium porosity hair is pretty much the most chill in the sense that it's neither super hard to put the moisture in there, nor is it super hard to retain it. It doesn't lose it fast. Then you're on the other side of the spectrum, high porosity hair. And high porosity hair has a pretty open cuticle. And though it's easy to put moisture in the hair, it's not very easy to retain it because given that the cuticles are open, it loses it quite readily. So there's different things that you have to focus on depending on the porosity of your hair. I can only speak from the point of view and experience of someone with high porosity hair. When my hair was damaged high porosity hair. Now that I chopped off all the damage, I'm dealing with healthy high porosity hair, but I am, for a fact, high porosity hair because I chemically treat my hair, given that I bleach it to stay blonde. Don't mind my roots, they're growing out. We're in quarantine, I can't see my stylist just yet. And so what I say with regards to hair still applies to medium and low porosity hairs. However, my techniques and my routine as I do them might not necessarily apply because medium and low porosity hair needs are different, and therefore the way you work with it when it comes to protein and moisture, etc., is different. But the very basics as to hair needs and listening to your hair, etc., apply. So let's delve in. Let's talk about wash day. Before I do anything to my hair on wash day, I will wet my hair with a water and aloe vera juice mixture. They're mixed at equal parts, water to aloe vera juice. Aloe vera juice is known to be both very conditioning as well as very good at helping shut the cuticle down, which is very beneficial to high porosity hair. The way it's beneficial to lower porosities of hair would be in the conditioning capabilities of it. I've heard it said that for lower porosity hair, maybe medium to low porosity, you can also go in and maybe even mix in some conditioner into the water aloe vera juice mixture so that when you are spraying it and the cuticle is about to close and you're conditioning it, it adds that extra layer of conditioner with the moisture and the water. I haven't done that. Definitely something I'm open to trying, but just water and aloe vera juice mixture alone has worked really well for me. So I wet my hair on a wash day with my water aloe mix, and then the most essential thing for me is to use a penetrating oil. A lot of people call them moisturizing oils as well. I am trying to discipline myself to call them penetrating oils because when we call them moisturizing oils, it gives a false sense that oils moisturize and condition the hair, which they do not. What is meant by calling an oil a moisturizing oil is that it penetrates into the strand of the hair, wherever we may have the cuticle open or gaps that are open within the protein bonds or whatnot. If I'm saying it correctly and understanding it correctly, the oil will penetrate that and go into the shaft of the hair because the molecules are small enough to do so. Such oils would be coconut oil, olive oil, babasu oil, murumuru oil. I don't know, don't quote me on the last one. So I personally, and because I react well to it, pre-poo with coconut oil. And pre-pooing for me is crucial because my hair is high porosity and my cuticle is prone to being open. My hair is exposed, and water, as amazing as it is for the hair, can also be detrimental and lead to hygral fatigue, moisture overload. You don't want to deal with that. And so I want to be liberal with my use of water, but at the same time, I also want to make sure I'm protecting my hair from that habit. So I pre-poo, and what that does is when the coconut oil penetrates the strands of my hair, it strengthens the hair by filling in those gaps that my hair has, that my hair strands have. And when I proceed with my wash, it doesn't deplete everything from my hair, leaving it with some strength to not suffer from high growth fatigue. So once the oil is in, I place a plastic cap on it, and then I use my Hot Head by Thermal Hair Care, which is a microwavable heat cap. And what that does is, by having this even heat all over my hair, it helps further open the cuticle. Even though my cuticle is already open, I can use all the help I can get to push that oil deep into the hair strands. I leave it on for about a half hour. Sometimes I get distracted and I make it to the hour, but a half hour is truly all you really need to pack everything you want to pack into hair, because there's only so much hair can take in, and at about a half hour, it's reaching its limit, so you're good. After the half hour is up, I wash my hair. My preferred wash protocol is using Apogee. Apogee has 3 different protein protocols, regimens, routines, a low one, a medium one, and a strong one. All of those are explained in this video. I follow the low one, the 2-minute keratin reconstructor routine, with every wash day. So that sees me after my pre-poo. I wash my hair with Apogee shampoo for damaged hair. After that, I apply the 2-minute keratin reconstructor, followed by maybe their deep conditioner. Sometimes I skip that because I will always go to using a mask. You can use a hair mask of your choice. I have had great success with TGI Natural. And for the hair mask portion of my wash day, I apply the mask, I apply a plastic cap. We have a little interruption. This is Ziggy. Hey, baby. Are you being nosy? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? Okay, gotta go. So where was I? I apply the hair mask, I apply a plastic cap, and then my hot head, and again I leave it in for about a half hour. You really don't need much more than a half hour. Same reasoning behind it as I explained for my pre-poo. And after that, I rinse. After I rinse, before jumping into the styling, I moisturize my hair. Now this has proven to be a lifesaver for me. When I had sustained all this hair damage, I was still pre-pooing. I was washing my hair properly. I was using protein treatments. I was deep conditioning. I was using a leave-in, and I was styling, and I was still suffering from breakage. And I could not, for the life of me, understand why. Why was my hair breaking off? Why was it not soft? Why was it not retaining moisture in spite of everything I was doing? Yes, it was high porosity, but are you kidding me? Why was nothing working? It wasn't working because I wasn't sealing in the moisture. And so after much research, I found out what a lot of curly girls seem to already know, and no one told me because no one who raised me was curly. The lock method. The lock method is a moisture sealing locking regimen protocol routine developed by Rochelle Graham, the founder of Alakay Naturals, and this is what it involves. LOC. L stands for liquid or leave-in, O stands for oil, C stands for cream. Basically meaning that that's the order of product that you want to put in just for moisturizing your hair. I've seen a lot of people interpret it in different ways, like the cream means a cream styler or you could replace it for gel. No, the lock method is strictly for the moisturizing portion of your hair regimen. After that, you style. So for my regimen, I use TGI Naturals Miracle Repair X line as well as their Moist collection, and I will be making updated videos on those, but you can see what I have linked to above. TGI Natural Miracle Repair X collection, TGI Natural Moist collection. So right after I rinse out the deep conditioner / hair mask, we arrive at the L for liquid or leave-in of the lock method. Basically, this is where I apply my leave-in conditioner. I apply it generously to my hair, make sure I am saturated, not in a way that you're weighing it down, but you just want to make sure you're getting it to every portion of your hair. After that come the steps that I never knew I should have been doing. O for oil. This is a portion where you want to use sealing oils. Coconut oil, olive oil, and the like are not to be used in this portion because of the very fact that they're penetrating oils. What you want is an oil that has a large enough molecule that's not going to penetrate your hair shaft, and that's going to instead seal it, coating the outer layer of the hair strand and making sure that the moisture, i.e. my leave-in conditioner, that I placed in my hair stays locked in. And so initially I was using jojoba. Jojoba is the only oil that mimics the sebum, our natural oils from our skin, our scalp, and whatnot. And I was doing amazingly well with jojoba oil. Anything else was way too heavy for my hair. Now that I'm at a healthier high porosity level hair, which is lower in porosity than damaged high porosity, I can take more. And jojoba oil was no longer doing the trick for me, so I moved on to black Jamaican castor oil. And so this is where you want to know your hair, because I was experiencing more dryness than I was when my hair was damaged, and so I had to fine-tune my routine. So this is what I'm saying: play with your porosity, try to understand and know these basics, but try to understand your hair and see why it's acting the way it is. And so what mine was begging for was just a heavier sealing oil. And switching from jojoba oil to black Jamaican castor oil for me absolutely did the trick. And so I place a little in the palm of my hand, coat my hair with it, seal my liquid leave-in in, and then I move on to C, cream. And here you can use a butter or a cream of your choice. For me, again, it's from the TGI Natural line. Apply it nicely to your entire head of hair. Enjoy that softness because mine feels so soft. I love this portion of my regimen. And so after that is done, then you go in with the styler of choice. Now that is up to you. What do you do best with? Is it a foam? Is it a gel? Is it a hair cream? Is it a combination? That's up to you. Apply your styler and either air dry or diffuse. And that's pretty much it. So that's just for a regular wash day. In addition to that, I also have a refresh regimen. What do I do in the days between my wash days? And that also varies depending on your porosity. And here I would say hair pattern and curl texture do come into play. For example, my curls are looser 3A/3B curls. And so when I sleep with them, regardless of whether I'm sleeping in a bonnet, if I'm using a headscarf, a silk headscarf, if I'm using my silk pillowcase, whether you have a satin pillowcase, for me, my curls come undone no matter what I do or how I sleep. So I just keep it simple, because if it's gonna come undone anyway, I might as well be super comfortable when I sleep, and I'm the most comfortable with nothing on my head. So I sleep on a silk pillowcase. And for my refresh days, I need to wet my hair and kind of do like a little refresh and diffuse. Tighter curl textures, from what I see women share, from what friends with tighter curl textures say, are more prone to waking up and doing like a minimal fluffing or maybe manipulating of the hair and not really needing to do much more, and they're good to go. And that's how they judge their wash days. But for me, it's a matter of refreshing every day. So for refreshing, I go back in with my water aloe vera juice mixture. I wet my hair and then I gauge it. I mean, normally I do add more moisture. Some people might just wet the hair a little bit and diffuse and they're good to go. I am so protective of my hair after the trauma that I went through that I want to stay on task with my moisture. I don't do full LOC method. I wet my hair with my aloe water mixture and then I add like a little bit of my cream/butter, a little layer of my black Jamaican castor oil, and then I diffuse. If throughout the diffusing process I see that my hair is frizzing up a little, which really doesn't seem to be the case because I do put enough styler on wash day, then I might add dabs of styler again, but for the most part I don't need to. Just the water, cream, oil, diffuse tends to do the trick for me. So play around and see what your hair is telling you. What porosity are you? How tight is your curl pattern? What is it like when you sleep with your hair? Do you pineapple? Do you not pineapple? Do you use a bonnet, a scarf, a satin or silk pillowcase? What works better? Depending on what works best for you and when you wake up, given your optimal hair sleeping situation, what do your curls look like and what do you need for your refresh? And that's kind of how you determine whether you can just fluff and go or whether you need to do a full-on refresh like I do. And I see how far I need to extend it just depending on how my scalp feels and how my hair feels. If I feel like I'm getting buildup on the hair and I just want to wash it off, then I do. On average, I would say, depending on what stylers I'm using, I can do between 4 and 6 days. A rushed wash cycle where, oh my god, I need to get this off my hair because it's either causing itching or I'm not doing well or I applied too much product. Maybe day 2 or day 3 I'm already washing my hair, so you never know. Go with the flow. But on average, if something is working for me, between a 4 to 6 day cycle tends to be my sweet spot. So we've covered the wash cycle. We've covered the refresh. Then there's the monthly care. I do my deep conditioning / masks with every wash. I thrive on it. I do well on it. Some people recommend doing it once every 2 weeks. Some people will do it once a month. And again, this is where you tailor things to your hair porosity. How often do you need it? I do a low protein treatment with every wash cycle. With every wash, given my apogee protocol, Again, not everyone needs that. What is your porosity? What are your hair needs? I also do a monthly protein protocol with the AlphaG 2-step protein treatment outlined in depth in this video. And that is something that my hair thrives on. If you do need something potent protein-wise, I highly recommend AlphaG. I've seen in their literature a mention of every 4 to 6 weeks or every 6 to 8 weeks. So basically every 4 to 8 weeks. I do it every 4 weeks. It works well for my hair. But again, what's your hair porosity? What are your hair needs? Because you might not need to do it every 4 weeks. Maybe you do better with every 6 weeks. Maybe you do better with every 8 weeks. So again, get to know your hair. But that is basically it as far as little helpful knickknacks and products and what to use. We already talked about caring for your hair with silk or satin when you sleep. I have another video where I get in depth about what little knickknacks and tools and scalp massagers and what kind of towel to use and whatnot, and those also come into play with the regimen. But as far as products and how-tos and whys of a hair regimen, this is mine. How does it work for lower porosity? Well, everyone needs that protein moisture balance. And as you saw throughout the video, what works for me as a high porosity is that intensity of it, really delving in, really being hardcore, really being regimented, really doing it often. If you have a lower porosity, I would guess that you don't need to do it as often. But again, what is your hair telling you? If you have lower porosity hair and your hair is dry and brittle, my guess would be that you need to probably figure out a way of what products work best with your hair and how to pack it in with moisture. Maybe you need more during your wash routine. Maybe you need a different method of moisturizing. Maybe you need both. And the same goes if you're a medium porosity. Just listen to your hair. The biggest mistake that I did when I had damaged hair was not listening to my hair. I thought my initial round of damage was through a round of bleach damage, after which I moved on to using DevaCurl products, which were horrendous for my hair. They felt horrible. My hair felt dry, but I didn't listen to my hair. I just thought, oh man, this is just what my hair is like now because of the bleach damage. There's no hope. I'm just gonna have to suck it up and live with it like this, thinking that miraculously this amazing soft hair was going to grow out of it, and it just was not getting better. It was just consistently like that. I do fault DevaCurl for being a horrendous, horrifically damaged, bad line that I do not recommend. But my fault within that was not having listened to my hair, and I wish I had listened to my hair. It would have really cut down the extent of my damage and the extent of the trauma that I suffered through. So that would be the biggest takeaway. Listen to your hair. And in addition to all these little tips and tricks and routine talk, of course, cater to the essentials, to your diet. The healthier your diet, the more nutrients your body is going to get, which also translates into more nutrients for your hair. Make sure you're drinking a lot of water, something I need to be better at. Yes, supplements and whatnot can help, but again, they are not the end-all be-all if you don't have a good base with your diet. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully this helps shed light on a routine, on figuring out your regimen. But basically my very basics, bare bones are: before I wash my hair, I need to strengthen it, so I pre-poo. Then I wash my hair, I incorporate a protein protocol into the wash to keep my hair strong. Because I incorporate a protein protocol, I also need to balance it out with moisture. So I do a deep condition / mask. After that, I moisturize my hair with the lock method to seal in the moisture. Then I style. And that is just the basic gist. Do you have something that is working for you that's foolproof, that has your hair feeling amazing and lustrous? What is it? What do you think of my routine? Do you think there's anything I could add to it? Is there anything that feels off to you? I am continuously learning, so this might change in the future. For whatever reason, my hair starts to tell me something else. I would love to hear from you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for following my curly hair journey. Stay tuned for more. Ciao for now.